Sometimes being a wrestling fan just breaks your heart. It's been a hard time for the WWE. It seems it's just like a curse on us right now, with so many of its athletes just going out with injuries, from Randy Orton to Sheamus to Alberto Del Rio to John Cena to Seth Rollins. It just seems like the injuries are just coming left and right. And unfortunately, for one man, the injuries might be too much. If you haven't heard on Twitter, or if you can't read the description of the video, it's pretty much making the rounds right now. I want to thank both Iron Twister and Griffoon for hitting me up on this, but on Twitter, on his Twitter, Daniel Bryan says that tonight he will be announcing his retirement from professional wrestling. Now, now I'm not gonna say that this is finality with it, because we still have a couple. There's still tonight to say. So this is just terrible. I hate to see anyone's career come to an untimely end. I mean, a few years ago, Adam Copeland, aka Edge, was forced to retire because of because of a neck condition that if he took one big bump, it would probably kill him. And Santino Marella, a fan favorite, who was way more skillful in the ring than a lot of people really realized, had to retire due to excessive concussions. More recent example is Corey Graves, who went from being a very over talent in NXT, having to retire because of injury, and now is a great color commentary. I'm sorry, I'm flubbing my words, but this is especially hurtful because it just comes at the wrong time. Like Daniel Bryan was an indie darling along with CM Punk. When he came in, there wasn't a lot of people wanted him to succeed because he was just so good. Trained by both Shawn Michaels and William Regal. He was a submission expert. I'm not going to sit here and claim I've always been a fan of Daniel Bryan. And I had to actually look up some of his matches before he came to the WWE. I looked up some of his matches just to get an understanding of who the hell this guy was and why he was so over with the crowd. And I understood why. And I loved him from the first moment I saw him. This little unknown pale vegan from Washington State was kicking the crap out of people, having 5-star matches with dudes, and no one thought he was going to make anything of it. Until he became world champion, but lost it in 17 seconds to Sheamus at his first WrestleMania. But then this whole yes movement started. This bearded goat of a character, this guy who just came in on a wave of popularity and momentum. He wasn't the best talker in the world. He was good, certainly good. It's a lot better than some of the other talent that we have in the main event. I'm looking at you, Roman Reigns. But he certainly knew how to say what he needed to say to get his point across. He said what he said in the ring, and his second title reign, he beat John Cena clean, only to lose it to Randy Orton in just a few minutes later. Certainly longer than Roman Reigns' first title run, but still. But that didn't stop him. His popularity just put him over the top. And this was a guy who was so popular that for the past two Royal Rumbles, the last two before this one, this last one that we had, the crowd rioted against the end result because they wanted Daniel Bryan. The first time was because Daniel Bryan wasn't even in the Royal Rumble, and it was so bad that Rey Mysterio, a preeminent face, probably one of the more popular faces, got boos. And they were going to make it that Batista would be going into WrestleMania as a face, but instead they had to change things around because Daniel Bryan was just so goddamn over. They rebelled against that shit. And what do? They put Daniel Bryan in the main event by having him face 3 of the 4 members of Evolution in one night. He beat Triple H, then he went on to beat both Randy Orton and Batista in a triple threat match for the world title. And that moment he had with Conor the Crusher. Conor the Crusher. The last that title reign was cut short because of injury. Then he comes back at the next Royal Rumble. This time as an actual entrant. But then he gets eliminated early in favor of a up-and-coming Roman Reigns, which, of course, he gets booed the crap out of. But he then has an epic a multi-man ladder match for the Intercontinental title, and I thought this was going to be another one, a good one. But then he had to give it up. He had to give it up because of injury, this particular injury, this neck injury. And we figured, hey, he's going to come back. He's going to come back better than ever. I mean, nowadays, now after after Triple H signed all that talent from New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he said in an interview, you can look this up, it's on WWE.com. He said in an interview that one of the people he really wanted to work with, one of the people he wanted to have a match with, was Shinsuke Nakamura. Daniel Bryan versus Shinsuke Nakamura, the bearded one, versus the swagged one. That's a dream match in and of itself. So I was looking forward to that, and we were getting independent reports from the doctors that he was cleared to wrestle. But now this news just comes as a stab to my heart. That he's not even 35, I don't think. I mean, he's still so young. He's younger than Edge when Edge retired. Edge was near his 40s, I believe. But this breaks my heart in so many ways. It's just, I don't know what to say. It's just, oh my God. I don't know. I am at a loss for words. So it's really a shame that his such a promising career is cut short. But for the little time that we had him, the little time that he was on the roster, he made an impact. He's the man who killed what as a chant and replaced it with yes, a chant so powerful, so popular, and so uplifting, it transcends the WWE into other, not just other organizations, but other mediums. I've seen the yes chant being performed in football events, and basketball events, and bars. I've seen it being done. When I was working at the Sprint Center, I heard the yes chants being. Despite the fact that John Cena is the face of the company, for a long time, Daniel Bryan was the most over man in the company. He was the baby face that everyone wanted to cheer. And even John Cena, before his title unification ladder match with Randy Orton, he called it out and brought Daniel Bryan to the forefront and say, hey, they're cheering for this guy. You're the man right now. So yeah, this is probably this generation's greatest technical wizard. His career ends far too early. It ends far too early. But then again, we never know. This may be a preemptive thing. I don't know, but I'm hoping that we'll get more news as the hours progresses, and we'll probably get an official. But we're probably waiting for an official announcement tonight. But yeah, I really wanted to see Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan. I know it will be a curb stomp, but damn it, it will be an entertaining one because Daniel Bryan, he just doesn't give up. Yeah. So, yeah. I will leave the link to the to the tweet below in the description so you can read for it yourself and read the unbelievable outpouring of shock, sadness, and emotion for this little guy from Washington who rose to heights that we have never seen before or probably never will see again. So anyway, this is my video. If you want, leave a description below of your favorite Daniel Bryan match, whether it been in the WWE or in the independent scene, or better yet, your favorite Daniel Bryan moment. Yeah, just anything to show your love and respect for this young man whose career has come to a sad end. Just damn. So, I guess I will see you guys later tonight after Raw when Daniel Bryan makes it official that he will no longer be wrestling. See you then.